Hey, I hope you guys are doing good today. We are going to be watching SCP-049, The Plague Doctor, and this is from the Volgun. So I had watched the origin story of some sorts from Dr. Bob last week, but I'm very, very fascinated by 049. So I kind of wanted to go a little bit deeper. So I'm going to be watching the Volgun's video on 049. I'm very, very excited for this. If you do get a chance, I'd appreciate if you can leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a bunch, and I will have the VolGuns video linked in my description below. So be sure to go and like and subscribe to him. He does an amazing job. I really enjoy his videos a lot. All right, let's get into this. I'm ready to learn more about the Plague Doctor.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be studying today is SCP-49. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-49 is contained within a standard secure humanoid containment cell in Research Sector 2 at Site-19. SCP-49 must be sedated before any attempts to transport it. During transport, SCP-49 must be secured within a Class 3 humanoid restriction harness, including a locking collar and extension restraints, and monitored by no fewer than 2 armed guards.
Oh my gosh, he's serious. Bro is serious, man. Although Plague Doctor is cool. I just think he's cool. He's cool.
While SCP-49 is generally cooperative with most Foundation personnel, outbursts or sudden changes in behavior are to be met with elevated force. Under no circumstances should any personnel come into direct contact with SCP-49 during these outbursts.
Yeah, I would imagine that one of these outbursts would be a little bit terrifying. I think it would be a little scary. I would say, yeah, I don't think you want any of that smoke from him.
In the event SCP-49 becomes aggressive, the application of lavender, L. multifida, has been shown to produce a calming effect on the entity.
Oh,
Once calmed, SCP-49 generally becomes compliant and will return to containment with little resistance. In order to facilitate the ongoing containment of SCP-49, the entity is to be provided with a corpse of a recently deceased animal, typically a bovine or other large mammal, once every 2 weeks for study. Corpses that become instances of SCP-49-2 are to be removed from SCP-49's containment cell and incinerated.
why do they have to be incinerated? Does he do something to them that could potentially turn into something else? Or I wonder why that is.
SCP-49 is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects, and requests for human subjects are to be denied.
I mean, I can't blame the Foundation for not maybe giving him human subjects. Oh my gosh.
Temporary Containment Procedure Update. See Addendum 49.3. Per Containment Committee Order 049.S19.17.1, SCP-49 is no longer permitted to interact directly with any members of Foundation staff, nor is it to be provided with any additional corpses to be used in its surgeries.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Although I could see him probably if he was interacting with just normal people and he didn't really like them or just didn't want to be around them, wanted to get out maybe. I think he could. I think he could.
This order shall persist indefinitely, until such time a consensus regarding the ongoing containment of SCP-49 can be reached. Description: SCP-49 is a humanoid entity, roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears the appearance of a medieval plague doctor. While SCP-49 appears to be wearing thick robes, and the ceramic mask indicative of that profession, the garments instead seem to have grown out of SCP-49's body over time, and are now nearly indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath them.
That's so crazy that he grew into this. I love that though. That's like such an interesting way to take a plague doctor and kind of weave it into this that it's like it's not a costume, it's literally who he is.
X-rays indicate that despite this, SCP-49 does have a humanoid skeletal structure beneath its outer layer. SCP-49 is capable of speech in a variety of languages, though it tends to prefer English or medieval French. While SCP-49 is generally cordial and cooperative with Foundation staff, it can become easily irritated or at times outright aggressive if it feels that it is in the presence of what it calls the pestilence. Although the exact nature of this pestilence is currently unknown to Foundation researchers, it does seem to be an issue of immense concern to SCP-49. SCP-49
Rightfully so, because I feel like he's kind of been around for a really long time. So maybe that's like part of his journey, I guess.
will become hostile with individuals it sees as being affected by the pestilence, often having to be restrained should it encounter such.
Oh man.
If left unchecked, SCP-49 will generally attempt to kill any such individual. SCP-49 is capable of causing all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact. How this occurs is currently unknown, and autopsies of SCP-49's victims have invariably been inconclusive. SCP-49 has expressed frustration or remorse after these killings, indicating that they have done little to kill the pestilence, though will usually seek to perform a crude surgery on the corpse using the implements contained within a black doctor's bag it carries on its person at all times.
Is that because he's just trying to figure it out? Maybe he's trying to study it, trying to see like maybe where he went wrong or if he was wrong, or you know, I can definitely see his, I guess, point of view of it. Not that he doesn't come off as terrifying because he sounds like he's a little scary, but very interesting though. Very, very interesting.
While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of instances of SCP-49-2. SCP-49-2 instances are reanimated corpses that have been operated on by SCP-49. These instances do not seem to retain any of their prior memories or mental functions, having only basic motor skills and response mechanisms.
He's like a necromancer. That's kind of cool.
While these instances are generally inactive, moving very little, and in a generally ambulatory fashion, they can become extremely aggressive if provoked, or if directed to by SCP-49. SCP-49-2 instances express active biological functions, though these are vastly different from currently understood human physiology. Despite these alterations, SCP-49 often remarks that the subjects have been cured. Addendum 49.1 Discovery. SCP-49 was discovered during the investigation of a series of unknown disappearances in the town of Montauban in southern France. During a raid on a local home, investigators found several instances of SCP-49-2 as well as SCP-49. While law enforcement personnel engaged the hostile 49-2 instances, SCP-49 was noted as watching the engagement and taking notes in its journal. After all of the 49-2 instances were dispatched, SCP-49 willingly entered Foundation custody.
I wonder how they convinced him, or did he just think maybe he was better off with the Foundation? I wonder. I guess if he didn't want to be found, then I could see him being able to evade any sort of law enforcement, Foundation, anything like that. I feel like he could. I feel like he could. So I wonder what made him kind of go along and allow himself to be captured.
The following interview was conducted by Dr. Raymond Ham during the initial investigation. Interviewer, Dr. Raymond Ham. Site 85. Interviewee, SCP-49. Playing log, now.
Alors, comment devrions-nous commencer une introduction?
Okay. So it says, so then how should we begin an introduction?
Is that French? Can we get a translator?
The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough.
Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and I...
A doctor. A like-minded individual, no doubt. Wherein is your speciality, sir?
Cryptobiology. Why?
A medical man such as myself. Wonders abound. And here, I worried I had been abducted by common street thugs. This place, then, this is your laboratory. I had wondered, as clean as it is, and with such little trace of the pestilence here.
The pestilence? What do you mean?
The scourge. The great dying. Come now. You know what is it they call it? No matter. The pestilence, yes. It abounds outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to, until such time as a perfect cure can be developed. Fortunately, I am very close. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see. The cure to end all cures.
That seems very ominous in a way, but also it seems like he is he's on a mission, and he seems like he has a lot of knowledge, and he's very observant, and he's very interesting. I find him very interesting, but definitely seems like he's we are very adamant about this this pestilence, which is such a cool angle for him, because I mean, I feel like it's also, like, very fitting, and then, he it seems like he maybe thinks he's doing good even if he's harming people in a way, and then the whole, like, necromancy kind of part of him is really cool.
When you say the great dying, are you talking about the bubonic plague?
I don't know what that is.
I see. Right, well, the entities our agents encountered at the house, they were dead when you encountered them, yes? You reanimated them.
In a manner of speaking, you see things too simply, Doctor. Expand your horizons.
Mhm.
Life and death, sickness and health. These are amateur terms for amateur physicians. There is only one ailment that exists in the world of men, and that is the pestilence, and nothing else. Make no mistake, they were very ill. All of them.
You think you cured those people?
Indeed. My cure is most effective.
But the things we recovered were not human.
Yes, well, it is not a perfect cure, but that will come with time and further experimentation. I have spent a lifetime developing my methods, Dr. Ham, and will spend a lifetime more if necessary. Now, we have wasted too much time. There is work to do. I will require a laboratory of my own, one where I can continue my research unimpeded. And assistance, of course, though I can provide those on my own in time.
He can make his own assistants. This is very, very fascinating to me. He is cool. I like the whole concept of SCP-49. I really like it. I really like it. This is very cool. It's very interesting. I almost feel like he's hard to not like, and you can also kind of see where he's very scary at the same time. Almost like a mad scientist, but not super crazy, I guess, in other ways when you like when I guess if you were to compare him to like a mad scientist, but very, very interesting.
Oh, I don't think our organization would be willing to.
Nonsense. We are all men of science. Fetch your coat and show me to my quarters, Doctor. Our work begins now.
Interviewer's note. While SCP-49 is capable of communicating in a very human way, there is a strange sense of unease that one
Mhm.
experiences when in its presence.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. I definitely get that vibe from him. Like he sounds like he is very observant, very interested in learning, and obviously thinking that he can cure people. But definitely something almost like otherworldly about him.
There's a strange sense of unease that one experiences when in its presence. Make no mistake, there is something very uncanny about this entity, indeed. Additionally, we've confiscated that pointed stick that SCP-49 keeps waving around. Part of this was due to standard confiscation protocols for the possession of anomalies, and part because 49 really is a menace, swinging it around like he does. The entity was displeased at first, but after we made some concessions in providing it with test subjects, which are admittedly more for the benefit of our own research, it warmed up to the idea. Addendum 49.2 Observation Log. While in containment at Site-19, SCP-49 has spent a considerable amount of time studying and performing surgery on the various mammalian corpses it had been provided. SCP-49 will routinely spend several days performing surgery, and then, regardless of whether or not the corpse becomes an instance of SCP-49-2, spending several more days documenting its findings in a thick leather journal stored within its doctor's bag. SCP-49 will often seek to share its findings with members of Foundation staff.
Oh.
The following is
Well, like, see, like that's kind of cool. He's not keeping it to himself. Like, you don't have to do anything crazy to try to get the information, or when he's writing down out of them, he's, you know, willingly providing the information that he is, I guess, thinking, or I guess assumingly that he's gathering. So at least that's kind of a plus for him.
seek to share its findings with members of Foundation staff. The following is a log of several occasions during which SCP-49 was observed operating on a mammalian corpse. Observational Log 49.0L.1 Summary. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: a test subject, D-85-123, was introduced into SCP-49's containment cell. The entity expressed sincere gratitude towards all members of the containment and research staff. Observation notes: SCP-49 began by asking D-85-123 several standard medical questions as it began removing tools from its bag. Shortly after finishing its preparations, SCP-49 quickly closed the distance between the two, killing the subject with a touch to its throat. Afterwards, SCP-49 made a number of considerable alterations to the basic structure of the subject's corpse, often introducing fluids from within its bag into the subject by way of a hand-powered pump and copper tubing. The resulting 49-2 instance became animated, flailing and grasping at the walls of the chamber with a number of manufactured limbs while moaning out of an oblong orifice now present in its sternum. During this time,
Oh my god. That is crazy. That's crazy what it turned into. That's crazy that he can, I guess, just touch things and end them. That is, I mean, that's scary in itself. But I wonder if he's just curious to see like how different people are when he brings them back, and like what kind of fluids is he putting in them?
of an oblong orifice now present in its sternum. During this time, SCP-49 was observed taking notes of the instance in its journal and remarking to the watching research staff about the efficacy of its cure. Security personnel entered the chamber to move SCP-49 back to containment and were attacked by the instance.
Oh.
The security team dispatched the 49-2 instance, and SCP-49 returned to containment with no resistance, stating that it was pleased with the results. Observational Log 49.0L.2 Summary. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased goat. SCP-49 expressed gratitude at the provision. Observation notes: SCP-49 operated on the goat corpse for several days, eventually resulting in an instance of SCP-49-2. SCP-49 expressed pleasure in this outcome, though admitted the disease was still in its nascent stage. My veterinarian practice is rudimentary, but the patient responded well to the procedure.
What, I wonder, classifies a surgery going well as far as like the reanimation and and how different they are between the animals and stuff, to I guess that he would consider something good or a fail.
Observational Log 49.0L.3 Summary. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased orangutan. SCP-49 expressed noted gratitude at the provision due to the similarities between the orangutan and common human physiology.
That is true. I bet this one was probably like uh as close as he could get, and I guess the best compromise.
Observation Notes: SCP-49 spent several days operating on the orangutan, reanimating it several times. However, SCP-49 appeared to be discontent with the results it experienced, returning to the creature 3 times after its initial reanimation for additional work. After it was unable to reanimate the corpse a 5th time, SCP-49 turned the corpse over to Foundation staff for incineration, stating, "I have learned so much from this, though I fear my early optimism was misplaced. I hadn't yet come across such a stumbling block on my road to the cure. More subjects like this would do a great deal in advancing my research."
Wow.
Observational Log 49.0L.7 Full. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased bovine. SCP-49 expressed mild annoyance at the provision, though it accepted it nonetheless.
But I would imagine going from an orangutan to a bovine is probably a downgrade in his eyes. So I could see that he was, I guess happy enough, but probably a little disappointed that he didn't get another orangutan. Because it seems like the orangutan he did a lot with, and I don't know what exactly he learned. I have absolutely no idea, but it sounds like he was doing something that was, I guess he felt like he was making progress with.
Observation Notes: SCP-49 spent several days operating on the bovine corpse, breaking only to dine on a requested dinner of thin crackers, salted pork, and hard cheese. Beginning first by embalming the corpse, SCP-49 was observed producing a number of long syringes from its bag, each containing a different dark viscous fluid. SCP-49 described these fluids as essences of the humors, and elaborated by saying, "The pestilence may bring about a systemic imbalance. In such case, before true healing can begin, one must find the humors in balance, or the body will reject the cure." Over the next few days, SCP
That sounds like something that's like above my pay grade. But that is, I mean, that is quite a way to word something. That sounds like it's a very interesting way to describe, I guess, like what fluid that you're putting into this animal to figure out like what exactly is going to have happen. Very cool though. I really like the way that he talks. There's just something about it that's like, I don't know, it's like cryptic, like smooth, and just very ominous, I guess.
the body will reject the cure. Over the next few days, SCP-49 spent a considerable amount of time adjusting the organs of the bovine corpse with a number of large metal instruments. After 8 days, SCP-49 produced a lightning rod,
Oh my gosh.
which Dr. Ham exchanged for an electric cattle prod attached to an extension cord, and struck the corpse in several locations. This action seemingly had the effect of reanimating the bovine, which once again became ambulatory, despite the inversion of the head and reorientation of its limbs.
What is he doing with these? Like what is he doing with all these animals? It seems like things are ending up in different places, and I mean, does that have something to do with what he thinks is gonna cure, like be the cure? I don't. It sounds a little crazy. It does sound a little crazy.
And this is a follow-up interview to the previous observation logs. Playing log now.
We've watched you work for several weeks now, and honestly, I'm not sure I understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Could you describe your process in detail?
Oh, goodness no. The process is most intensive. As I said to your assistant, the best instruction you will find about my methods are here. in my journals, as I have kept exhaustive records of my work there.
Oh, I see. Well, my concern, Doctor, is that we still don't understand what you're seeking to cure, or how it manifests, or how turning these creatures into quasi-living, mindless drones helps in that effort.
Right? Like I feel like that's kind of how I feel too about it. Of what are we trying what is our goal here with what we are doing to these animals that you think is progressing you to a cure that we obviously are not understanding like the disease of what we think he's trying to do, but it's very interesting though. It's very interesting.
You do not understand the pestilence, even after all this time. Doctor, it is an unspeakable horror, one that has shown its true face many times before, and will again. I find myself blessed with the wisdom and good senses needed to root it out and destroy it. But many, like yourself, cannot. It is a cruel judgment, I fear, to be at the mercy of a disease you cannot fully comprehend.
That still doesn't answer my question. How's your cure any kind of cure at all?
It is a cure. You may laugh at my efforts if you please, but do not besmirch the good name of scientific progress that has developed this great mercy. What you short-sightedly see here is a life better than any this creature could have hoped for. Stricken as it was with the pestilence, this creature is now clean, unable to spread the pestilence, and free from the terror it would have experienced otherwise.
This is hardly a creature at all, Doctor.
Right? I mean like there's a lot going on in this conversation. I feel like there's a lot going on, and to try to like pick the plague doctor's brain more, it's like it's almost hard to. And I feel like the doctor's like trying his hardest to understand, and you know the plague doctor is just like he's just leaps and bounds. You know he's like 50 steps ahead. But this is a very interesting conversation.
It's not even...
Do not jape with me, sir. You and your colleagues are like so many others, unable to look past minor setbacks to see the salvation taking place before your very eyes. Do you wait to remove rotten timbers until the whole collapses on top of you? No. You find them and you pull them out and replace them with those untouched by rot. And most of all, you do not simply mock the structure because it now looks different to you. It is strong. It is free of disease.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to agitate you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. Well, do mind your words in the future, Doctor. I am a professional, but even professionals may feel the bite of pride in dealing with criticism of their masterpiece. I will forgive this as an act of good faith between colleagues.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that will be all. Another test subject on the usual schedule. You know my preference of subjects with more human anatomies.
This is very interesting. I also feel like he kind of is like the man that's looking for answers and being like scientific, even if it's not in the most ethically moral way, I guess. So I feel like they kind of like clash, where like Dr. Ham is kind of like, like you're essentially making abominations like in the name of science. And I feel like maybe he's having like some issues with that, where I feel like SCP-49 is kind of like, I'm willing to do anything in the name of science, and you have to like not think about it that way. That's just kind of like what I see. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but that's kind of like what I see in this.
Attending researchers note, SCP-49 does seem to genuinely want to help other humans, though it has not yet been able to provide a concrete example of what exactly it is trying to save us all from.
Right.
I have watched it now for several weeks, and while the outcomes do not seem to ever change, SCP-49 continues to claim that it is growing closer to its perfect cure. I think the entity may be more aware of the reality of these outcomes than it would like us to think. Addendum 49.3 April 16, 2017 incident. Starting shortly after SCP-49's initial containment, Dr. Ham conducted a number of interviews with the subject regarding its anomalous properties, and over time began to note its displeasure with its subjects and SCP-49-2 instances. This continued for a period of several months, during which SCP-49 never exhibited any aggressive behaviors. On April 16, 2017, as Dr. Ham was entering SCP-49's test chamber to conduct another routine interview, the entity began to grow anxious and asked Dr. Ham if he was feeling well. Following
So he thinks Dr. Ham is like infected.
protocol, Dr. Ham reminded SCP-49 that the interview was required, after which the entity became hostile and attacked Dr. Ham, killing him. Due to a lapse in security protocol and because Dr. Ham did not activate the in-chamber emergency system, Dr. Ham's corpse was not discovered until 3 hours later, by which point SCP-49 had converted it into an instance of SCP-49-2. In the aftermath of this incident, SCP-49 was interviewed by Dr. Theron Sherman. Playing log now.
I need you to explain yourself. SCP-049, you are being directed to explain your actions, and I will remind you that failure to cooperate will result in further restrictions during your containment.
My actions do not need to be explained.
You killed Raymond Ham, and then butchered him until he...
Not dead. No, not dead. He is cured.
Does he think that this like reanimation of, deceased people, animals, whatever, is better than being alive? And if he can control them, he thinks that that's better? I don't know. Like, this is wild. This is crazy. And he is fascinating. He is absolutely fascinating. But I feel like I have like so many questions.
Not dead. He is cured.
Cured? Cured of what?
The pestilence, sir. I had thought you, at least, would realize what luck it is. I detected it before.
What pestilence?
Oof.
You keep going on and on about this pestilence, but you have not once been able to properly identify this disease. What could you have possibly seen in him today that you had not seen so many times before? That it would be worth his life?
The pestilence presents and progresses in unforeseeable fashions, and has a queer way of creeping into the unprepared. And call it what you want, Doctor. It was a mercy I did to him. He is cured.
He is a vegetable.
I would not expect you to understand. You and your ilk have proven time and time again not to be men of science, but men of emotion.
Yeah, see, like that's how I was feeling before when I was like, does he just like he is strictly like a man of science, so there is nothing that's out of his realm of, like as far as like other scientists that like want to be, I guess, somewhat like ethically and morally right with, whatever animals or anything that they're testing on, where it seems like 49's maybe a little more morbid in that aspect, but like he's still doing it in the name of science. It's just two very different perspectives. And I feel like they kind of butt heads a little bit. Not saying that one's right and one's wrong, because I mean, like if you look at like some actual like today's scientists and stuff, I mean, like there's like some heinous stuff that goes on. So, I'm not trying to say that one is better than the other. It's just an observation, I guess.
Not to be men of science, but men of emotion. You cannot appreciate the horrors I have seen. Those many millions who have succumbed to the pestilence and been changed.
Your cure cost Ray his life.
No, good sir. I have saved it. You would allow this world to slip back into the despair of disease and death, ignoring that I have created a miracle. And
what disease? What pestilence? He was a healthy man. He was a good doctor.
I'm off.
Does he maybe, like SCP-49, does he maybe think that like people are better off under his control or just better off as a like Frankenstein monster type of situation?
Offering it freely to the afflicted. You are not worth this argument, sir. You are short-sighted and foolish. Dr. Ham was sick, and I cured him. I am the only one who can do this. My work must continue. There is still so much to learn, so much.
I've had enough of this.
And
Consider your allowances
can be saved.
revoked.
Even you.
Welcome to Containment 049.
Might be saved.
We're done here.
I can save them all. I can cast down this plague once and for all. I can do this. Only me.
I'm very interested to know like what he thinks like whatever this pestilence is, like what is his definition of it? What does he think? Like what is he seeing in these people that are the pestilence that is like this disease that he needs to cure them of? Like I'm very curious to know like what it is that he's seeing or he's interpreting as such.
I saved. I saved him. Dr. Ham. I cured him. He was sick. I know he was sick. I know he was. And you are all sick, but I can save you. I can save all of you because I am the cure.
See, like now that sounds a little crazy. That sounds a little that part sounds a little nutty to me. Where it's like, is it just a matter of time before he thinks everybody's sick? So like in his reality, everyone is sick. Everyone is, plagued. And he is the answer because now, okay, like now we're getting into like crazy territory, but still loving. I absolutely love this though.
Addendum 49.4 Post-Incident Report Interview. The following interview is an excerpt from the April 16, 2017 49 Incident Report. The interview was conducted by Dr. Elijah Itkin and took place 3 weeks after the start of the initial investigation. Playing now.
SCP-049, we are conducting this interview to close out our investigation of your actions taken on April 16th that resulted in the death of a staff member. Do you have any comments to make?
Only that I look forward to the day when you will allow me to resume my work. I have spent the last few weeks compiling my notes and constructing a new theory for how the pestilence was able to infect someone in such an insidious manner that I nearly couldn't detect it.
Have you experienced any remorse for your actions? For the death of Dr. Ham?
Ah, yes. Well, the death of a colleague is always regrettable. But in the face of the pestilence, we must be swift, Doctor, and act without hesitation.
Dr. Sherman noted in his...
I feel like from like normal people perspective, that sounds awfully cold. But I feel like in his mind, it's kind of like, we're doing everything for science. Like that's like the bottom line. Like everything we do is for science, like whether it seems questionable or not. And nobody seems to understand him. That's kind of, I guess like that's my takeaway from it.
Without hesitation.
Dr. Sherman noted in his report that you seemed to be mournful during your initial interview.
Mourn? Perhaps. I had not thought that. It is lamentable that a fellow doctor became infected, but the work continues. Regrettable as it was, Dr. Ham's death provided important insight. Living human subjects are the only way to proceed forward, I am decided. My cure is of little use on dead flesh, and I have gleaned all I can from your generous supply of corpses. My desires turn towards tending to those still living who suffer from the disease.
I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed.
Oh, Doctor. I wouldn't be so sure.
Okay, see, like that sounds a little scary. Like that's a little scary. That is a little uneasy. to end an interview that way. But at the same time, it's almost like he's a little bit cuckoo, but he's working towards something. Like whether or not we understand it or not, he's doing it for science. He's doing it for science. He is cool though. I mean, I really like this one. I really enjoyed this.
Okay, I think that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you're all dismissed. Goodbye.
This was so good. I really, really enjoyed this. After watching the origin story of SCP-49, I was like, man, I just want to know more. Like, I just want to know more. So I really love this. This was very interesting. I am curious to know like what he thinks the pestilence is as far as like how does he see it in people? What is it that made him feel like this is like his calling, I guess, to cure people of it? I feel like I have like so many questions, but I'm like so intrigued by him that it's all of this was great. I enjoyed all of it. I think I am gonna go back and do like the same kind of like a little bit of a deep dive in some of the other ones, like the shy guy. I think I'd like to watch a more in depth one, and then and then we'll maybe move on to newer ones or whatever. But I am absolutely loving this SCP universe. I absolutely love it. I think it is so interesting, fascinating, um, amazing work and creativity that people have. I am in awe of. I think this is so cool. So I'm really, really glad that I got to get into this, and I'm really glad that you guys seem to be enjoying them. So I'm glad because these videos have been really interesting. I look forward to them honestly every week. Every week, I'm very excited to dive into the SCP universe. So Fridays have been kind of like a really fun day for me because it's something that's so new to me, and it's just been it's been a really fun ride so far. So thank you guys for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and all of that good stuff because I really appreciate it. And this has been something that I just been like kind of like sucked into. Like it really like has set its hooks on me. So I'm glad that we can kind of just all enjoy it together. So thank you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate you guys being here. And be sure to go and like and subscribe to the Volgun if you are not already, because he is just absolutely amazing. Does such a good job with these. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys had a great day, and I will see you in the next one.